Well, welcome back, friend, to our journey through the Proverbs. Today is day 4, and as such, of course, now we will be focusing on Proverbs chapter 4. Let's dive into our text. Proverbs chapter 4, starting in verse 1. It says, "Listen, my child, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and know understanding. For I give you sound learning. Don't forsake my law. For I was a son to my father, tender and an only child in the sight of my mother. He taught me, and he said to me, 'Let your heart retain my words. Keep my commands and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Don't forget and don't deviate from the words of my mouth. Don't forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is supreme. Get wisdom. Yes, though it costs all your possessions, get understanding. Esteem her, and she will exalt you. She will bring you to honor when you embrace her. She will give to your head a garland of grace. She will deliver a crown of splendor to you. Listen, my child, and receive my sayings. The years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in straight paths. When you go, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Take firm hold of instruction. Don't let her go. Keep her, for she is your life. Don't enter into the path of the wicked. Don't walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it and don't pass by it. Turn from it and pass on. For they don't sleep unless they do evil. Their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and they drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the dawning light that shines more and more until the perfect day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They don't know what they stumble over. My son, pay attention to my words. Turn your ear to my sayings. Let them not depart from your eyes. Keep them in the center of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to their whole body. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it is the wellspring of life. Put away from yourself a perverse mouth. Put corrupt lips far from you. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Make the path of your feet level. Let all of your ways be established. Don't turn to the right hand nor to the left. Remove your foot from evil." Wow, so much great wisdom here in the Proverbs. Loving it, loving it, loving it. It's just so interesting reading through this. I can kind of envision sort of that day when you, as a child, you leave the nest and you kind of venture off on your own. It seems like that's the kind of conversation that's going on here between a parent and their child. And you can sense, and as a parent myself, I know this, I've felt this, you can just sense this earnest pleading. Like, I've been there. Please listen to what I have to say. Please listen. I want the best for you. And you can just hear that in these words, these just an endearing picture of a parent who loves their child and wants the best, wants them to succeed. It's kind of like if you were to go on a journey, maybe you're going to go camping, and you're going to go camping like in a place like you see here, these mountains, and you're going to be far away from any kind of civilization. And so your life is going to depend on some of the things that you bring with. And so it's like somebody telling you, all right, you're going to go on this journey. You need to bring the most important things. What do you bring? What do you make sure that they bring? And in verse 13, I love this verse. It says, take firm hold of instruction. Don't let her go. Keep her, for she is your life. It's like if you go out camping, make sure if you lose anything, if you lose everything, make sure that you don't lose this thing. Hold on to it for dear life. Imagine yourself on a ride at one of these amusement parks, like a roller coaster. It's like, you're on quite a ride, but you're hanging on for dear life. And this kind of reminds me of this verse in John chapter 8 and verse 31, where Jesus said, if you hold to my teachings, then you are really my disciples. And this expression of hold, it's like we're talking about, it's like this death grip. It's like, I am not letting go. So, kind of like a password, like write this password down. Or if you've ever bought in a car and it has one of those special keys that costs hundreds of dollars to replace, it's like, don't lose it. Whatever you do, don't lose it. I also love verse 23 where it says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it is the wellspring of life. And also similarly in verse 21, it says, keep them in the center of your heart. I love how this Proverbs chapter 4 keeps coming back again and again and again to the heart. Where is your heart? What do you have in your heart? Well, it's easy to go through the motions, but it's hard to really stick with something for the long term. For the long game, what do they call that? The long game. I'm playing the long game. It's difficult to stick with it for the long term if it's not where your heart is at. So set your heart on wisdom. And because of this, I have come up with an affirmation for today. And that affirmation is, I guard my heart and take hold of instruction. I guard my heart and take hold of instruction. Well, that's my takeaway from Proverbs chapter 4 and my affirmation. I would love to hear your takeaways and your affirmations. Please consider leaving a comment, share with everybody else. You never know how your comments and your insights is going to be a blessing to somebody else. But for now, so long and have a wonderful day. Take care.